There's a company called Deep Cura Health that runs on 2 humans and 7 AI agents. 2 people, 7 agents. They handle patient scheduling, insurance verification, prior authorizations, the administrative chaos that buries every medical practice in America. And they're not alone. Twofold does revenue cycle management with 3 people. 3 claims, denials, payment posting, work that used to require teams of 15 or 20 people. Decent, a health insurance company, operates with 9 people total. We're talking underwriting, claims adjudication, member services, all automated. This is what Silicon Valley calls the AI first model. YC or Y Combinator just released a video about it. The idea that you can build a $100 million company with a skeleton crew by replacing middle management with AI agents. So burn tokens, not headcount. That's the philosophy. And in tech, it's working. Small teams are doing what used to take hundreds of people to do. But healthcare isn't tech. IBM learned this the hard way. They spent $4 billion, billion with a B, acquiring companies to build Watson Health. They partnered with MD Anderson, Memorial Sloan Kettering, the best cancer centers in the world. The pitch was simple. Watson would analyze patient data and recommend cancer treatments. AI-powered oncology, the future of medicine. And it failed catastrophically. Here's what actually happened. Watson was trained primarily on synthetic cases and treatment preferences of a small group of doctors at Memorial Sloan Kettering. It learned their biases, their preferences, their specific approach to oncology. Then IBM sold it globally as if it were a universal medical truth. Now, internal documents later reveal that Watson made unsafe and incorrect treatment recommendations. In fact, in one case, it recommended a cancer treatment for a patient with severe bleeding, a recommendation that could have been fatal if it was actually followed. The trust gap in healthcare isn't about whether the technology works. It's about the gap between this performs well in a demo and I'm willing to stake my medical license on it. When you burn tokens in tech and the AI gets it wrong, you get a bad product recommendation. Maybe you lose a customer. But when you burn tokens in clinical care and the AI gets it wrong, you can burn bodies. You can burn tokens, but you can't create bodies. So what's actually happening with these AI-first healthcare companies, the Twofolds and Deep Curas and Decents? Well, right now, they're all doing the same thing. They're attacking administrative healthcare, not clinical healthcare. Admin AI is working. Prior authorization automation saves 15 to 20 minutes per request. Revenue cycle AI cuts denial rates. Scheduling agents reduce no-shows by up to 30%. These are tasks where errors mean paperwork delays and not patient harm. Clinical AI telling a doctor what to prescribe, what treatment to recommend, that's where Watson died. The liability chain is very personal. When something goes wrong, the doctor signed the order. The AI doesn't have a medical license to revoke. But here's where I think the conventional wisdom actually gets it wrong. The line isn't admin versus clinical. The line is decision support versus decision making. Think about what actually limits a primary care physician today. A typical doctor manages a panel of maybe 2,000 patients, but they're not providing continuous care to 2,000 people. They're reacting, seeing whoever shows up, reviewing charts one at a time, hoping they catch the patient whose blood pressure has been creeping up for 6 months. Now imagine AI that surfaces the 47 patients in your panel who haven't refilled their diabetic medication, the 12 lab values that need review, the 8 who are overdue for cancer screenings. The AI isn't deciding what to do. The physician still makes every clinical decision, but instead of hunting through charts, the doctor's attention goes exactly where it's needed. That's not administrative, that's clinical, but it's decision support, not decision making. And it changes the math entirely. If AI handles the cognitive load of tracking 2,000 patients, surfacing who needs attention, synthesizing their records before visits, closing care gaps through automated outreach, well, suddenly one physician can meaningfully manage 5,000 patients, maybe even more. Population health at a scale that's never been possible before. Medication adherence programs that actually work because the follow-up is persistent and it's very personalized. The shift from reactive medicine, waiting for patients to get sick enough to show up, to proactive monitoring that catches problems early. This is where the AI-first model in healthcare actually goes. Not 3 people replacing 30 doctors. That's the wrong frame. It's 1 doctor doing what used to require 5 with better outcomes because the AI isn't making decisions. It's eliminating the cognitive overhead that limits how many patients one human can meaningfully care for. The admin side of healthcare is $1 trillion of waste. That's the immediate opportunity, and I agree. But the bigger play is clinical decision support, expanding a physician's reach without replacing their judgment. The companies that figure out where that line is, decision support, not decision making, human oversight at every step, they're building something much larger than a billing automation tool. If you're building in this space or investing in it, that's the question. Not can AI do medicine, it's can AI make one doctor effective as five? The technology isn't there yet for everything, but it's getting there. And the companies positioning themselves on the right side of that line, they're the ones to watch. And thanks for watching here. I'll see you in the next one.